Right, sorry guys, I had a few technical issues with the sound. I could get my headphones coming through, you could hear me speaking and no game, and I wanted to try and get both sides of things working, so I don't often do this, so if it goes pear-shaped you know the reason why. But hopefully I'm registering sound from my mouthpiece, and I think the game's also registering sound as well. So what I'm going to do is go through a few things and have a bit of a play. So expect crashes, expect giggles, and expect fun, shall we say. I'm just going to turn the sound down on my tablet, if I can find out where the bloody volume is. Always the way, in it. In fact, I'll mute it. I've got a tablet with YouTube on it, but obviously I don't use it, so it's one of these where I'm going to try and find the bloody volume button. Oh, that's going the wrong way. That'll do. Alright, so hopefully you can hear me. If someone can just say yay, coverage. I'll start with the Audi. I had a couple of problems with the update. When I put it on, it wouldn't work. And I was thinking, here we go again. So I deleted the engine any file, got a bit further, and then crashed out again. I was like, this isn't going well at all. But anyway, I'm here now. And let's see how this goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the safe preset up for every single car. I'm not going to mess with the car at all. I'm going to keep it all within natural parameters to try and keep it fair. And what we'll probably do is a handful of laps with each car. I do have a comparison time that I've already done with a couple of the cars, but this will give me a good indication of where we're up to in relation to the latest changes. Okay, so first of all, if someone can just confirm you can hear me. I know there's a few on there at the moment, but I'm not seeing much chat come through. Let's see if I can change that a little bit. No, I can't see anything coming through. Anyway, here we go. So as I said, I'm going with full default fuel, everything. So everything's the same across the board. You've got about a 30-second delay between me speaking and yourselves being able to respond. The surround isn't really surround sound, so I'm struggling with the sound a little bit. It's gone into mono. So I've got a speaker right in front of me. That sounds like it's... in fact, just let me turn that volume down a little bit. It's just picking up one speaker at the moment. I have no idea why, but anyway. Onboard engine, let's bring all that down. Not really interested in the game sound, to be honest. I can hear it enough. Well, bit too quiet, but you get the point. And hopefully you can hear it in game as well. If I need to turn that up, you might have to let me know. But it's not something to do often. I definitely need sound. I can't hear a thing. Right, let me up my audio. I'm going to change this to... Now let's see if that works. And now I've got no sound at all. And you can't hear me either. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Don't you just love? Oh, and it's completely lost all sound now. And I've no idea why. So you can see what's on my screen. It says no sound. I have no idea why I have no sound. I should have sound. Ah, maybe not. Let me blare in and see if anything's coming through. You can still hear me, but you just can't. I just can't hear the game. What I might do is I might just come out of the game and go back in. All this wonderful technology, eh? I bet you bottom dollar I'm going to get an error. This is the wonderful world of ACC when you want to do something with a stream on something you don't normally stream on. So I don't normally stream on my gaming PC, and I'm actually not streaming on my gaming PC. I'm hoping the sound's going to come through, and if I can get it coming through my normal speakers, you'll be able to hear me fine. I will get there. This is what I was trying to fix before, and then I got the sound all working, then it was too loud, and I thought, great stuff. Anyway. Options. Right, I've got sound coming through again now, so hopefully you can hear me, the sound in the game. Back into single player. Start. And what I'll do is I'll turn the volume down on my local speakers, just so you don't get feedback on the microphone. So current setup, yeah. Back to the safe setup. Right, here we go. Hopefully things will be a bit better. I can see the sounds being recorded on the game properly now on the stream, and you can hear my voice. There we go. A bit annoying because of the software I'm using to do the sound. I've got a bit of a delay on the sound. So I'm changing gear and then I'm hearing it in the background. And obviously the first lap the tyres are going to be complete and utter a waste of space. So my first couple of laps will be just getting in, and I do know certain cars, they suffer with heat on one side of the tyres on this track. So that's going to play a big part in this. And I also have a problem with this track myself, as in keeping it on track. As you can see, they're very deep into the corner. That'll be an invalid lap. Because I'm using the safe setup, the car's going to be a bit more bolted. You'll also see the traction control's quite high and the ABS is quite high, a lot higher than I normally have them in the Audi. I normally run the traction control at 1 or 2 in the Audi. Just getting the same braking points in this. Obviously a bit better when the tyres are warmed up, and they're just not warming up at all at the moment. I'm getting there. As I said, a couple of laps, find my feet. Don't like this track at the best of times. I prefer to give it a go. As long as I don't put it in the wall. Interesting to see how the Audi fares. Still trying to remember on my braking points. That's another thing I've got to relearn. And obviously we've just been doing Laguna Seca, and I've got a rough idea where braking points are, but you still got to relearn them. Try and keep this as close to the apex as possible. My tyres are almost at temperature now. To the apex here, because you'll get a good run over this corner, otherwise you will drift wide a little bit. Drop it down so I can get the power on nice and early into this next section. Too early, it'll drift wide. You've got to get it right, otherwise you'll hit the rumbles and you'll be off into the sand. A bit early on the brakes there, but I say still finding the lap, getting used to it. Drive all the cars of a similar nature, what it'll do is a couple of things. It'll give me an understanding of the lap times I'd expect, and also a comparison of the cars. Now, some of the cars I've never driven, certainly not around this track. Feels like they've nerfed the brakes actually on the Audi. That's my normal braking point now, if I recall. Ah, it will be on brake set 2. I normally use brake set 1, so slightly different, I suppose. Just take the corner there. Get the power on as soon as you can coming around here. Because I went wide, this won't be a comparison lap. This will be quite a slow lap. Get around the corner, try and get the power on. Because I'm using it safe setup, I should be able to push a little bit more than usual without the car sliding off. But obviously it's not going to be as fast top end, but if I'm running them all that way, it's going to be a relatively good comparison. And then what I'll do is I've not got a setup for this car because I've never ran it round Suzuka before. I've got one, but it's not one I've tried. A bit better, but still a bit slow into there. There you go. So running a bit smoother now. Still got to get round the spoon. Nothing else, it's giving me a bit of practice for later, regardless of which car I pick. Quite a nice few laps as well. Yeah, that braking point, that was earlier than usual, but I still managed to get it working, so still wants to drift out. A bit of oversteer there. Still pushing, even with the traction control up. This feels a bit more of a better lap. I know it's not as quick as what I can do. And I can go around there faster. It's a much quicker lap this time. Be a good comparison lap. Still not me anywhere near my best time, but I am running full fuel and I'm running a very safe setup, so see what I mean by drifting left there. Crap like that now. So I'll go back. I'll go round again. A bit better through there. A bit better through there. Back end's not sliding, which is good. Tyres are relatively decent actually. This is one of them corners that you can gain and lose so much going in and going out of that hairpin. Pickup feels actually quite poor on the Audi than normal. It's like it's lost a bit of low end grunt. Easily another second in it, I think. This setup. Not a fast lap time. I was never expecting to set the world on fire. You know, do your Dal Kings and stuff like that. Because I was looking at it from real world perspective. You know, a like for like comparison. They'll have had all tweaked setups for their cars, and they'll be running it as loose as possible to get the maximum out of it. Whereas obviously I'm doing this so I can drive the thing without going off track. Try and keep this one on track, and then I'll make this my last lap if I can. Get round, get the power down as soon as I can to try and get some time. It's better through here now. I'll be able to floor it more and gain a lot of time. The time's starting to click up now. Whoa! Oh, there you go. Tank slapper and all that. So, another lap. I did say I was going to do things like that, so I weren't joking. I was just starting to push a little bit more there with a car that's had no setup done to it. I spent time doing setups, it'd probably be a bit more realistic. I'd probably have very limited fuel in it, but as you can see, my fuel level's quite high. At least my tyres are alright. I reckon there's another second in this, with this setup, without me messing around too much. So that'll be my comparison, really. You see the back end still wants to step out there, even though I've got what I've got set up as a base setup. But as I said, I'm not setting the world on fire with my lap times. So let's see if we can keep it on track and try and finally get one lap done. One, well, quicker lap than a 2:05, but still I can use that as a reference point. Quicker into the apex there, so that's going to be a bit more time as well, so still going quicker. The car to spin round through the corners. Half a second up at the moment. Looking good. A bit better if I can get this braking point right this time. I think I nicked too much of the curb before, if I was being brutally honest. Second faster. Now I've got the braking points. It should be a little bit easier in the other cars now because I've worked out where I should be braking. I know they're all different, but I'm expecting a lot of fun in the Porsche. All them Porsche aficionados out there. Nearly a second and a half up this lap, so there'll be some people out there thinking that's a great lap time. 2:01's my best here. 2:01.9. Obviously a bit quicker that time through there. Yeah, not too bad lapper now, that. Bearing in mind I've still got, 42 litres of fuel, 181. 2:03.8 by the looks of it. That's my target time, 2:03.8. So I know that's 2 seconds off my fastest, but the fastest will have been done under qualifying with a bespoke setup. Okay, so we've posted that. That's a 2:03. And what I'm going to do is, excuse the screen going off a second. I'm going to go into Notepad. It'll let me. Come on. Wakey wakey. Oh, I won't bother with that. Come on, I won't bother. I was going to record that. We know it's a 2:03. Stop flickering. Right. I'm going to quit out and I'm going to pick a different car this time. Anyone in the chat want to make a recommendation? I know there's 8 people viewing. Let's have a look. Aston Martin's supposed to have been improved massively, hasn't it? So let's go with me good old, not that one, if I can find it. That one there. Me good old Cognizant. And again, I'm going to pick default safe setup just so I can get the thing around the track and see what I can do. So 2:03.8 to beat. Safe pre-setup. And I'm doing no other changes at all. Again, to keep the comparison the same. But this would have been way behind the Audi previously, I think. It'll be interesting to see where this sits now in the grand scheme of things. I'm just going to turn the engine up, the sound up a bit. And hopefully, I don't want you to be able to hear it on the microphone. That's a bit better, I think. We'll see how that goes. A bit of background noise, just let me know. The Aston just feels so sluggish at low revs. And the balance is completely different to the Audi. That's the first thing I've just noticed, is the difference in the balance of the car. I feel I can't fling it into the corners the same as the Audi at the moment. Maybe it's just tyres. It feels like a tank. So much heavier. I know it's not, but it feels it. Big roaring V8. Very pointy front end. Front end feels better than the Audi at default settings. That's the first thing I've noticed. Appears to brake better. Again, it feels a bit like the Audi on the power band there. I know I've been racing the Audi now for a good couple of weeks, but you can see I've got the braking points nailed now, regardless of the car. So this lap feels and probably looks a lot tidier, but it's not. It's just I've learned. See much quicker through there as well now. I've got the confidence up. I'll tell you what, I'll be cheesed off if I beat me with a lap time more or less straight away in this. Big difference as well. The force feedback feels a lot firmer on the Aston. On the Audi, I actually felt like it was wanting a little bit. This feels, now the car's moving, the force feedback's actually better in the Aston, I think, which is bizarre. Doesn't want to turn in there the same as the Audi though. But it's still managing to keep a good lap in here. Not a winding lap. Much more stable through there. As you can see, this is again a relatively tidy lap. Doesn't want to turn that corner. But look at the power coming out the corner. Maybe that needs first there, and that's one of its Achilles heels. Didn't use first in the Audi, I don't think. Bit of a fight with it there, like I was with the Audi. Good consistency, fighting with it. I know this is the car Nikos is thinking of driving now. It's had it's been buffed. I think he's going to be laughing at it. So it suffers steering in different ways. This, but again, you can see the low down power is woeful. That is what they probably needed to change on this. As a comparison, it's much quicker than I was doing early on in the Audi. I do feel some of the gear changes I've been making are probably the wrong gear, and that's going to hinder my lap times a little bit. Yeah, I'm having to change down a little bit more to see if I can keep the drive going, because the gear ratio's obviously different. On this corner it doesn't like at all. I'm going faster but not making huge gains here. Let's see how I go on in the hairpin. I will keep pushing this for a good number of laps. already the same as I was before now. Even in first gear, slightly quicker coming out. Give me a 3/10 gain there. The gear ratio's obviously different to the Audi, and the grunt's obviously going to be different as well. You see I'm trying to drive them all consistently, trying to take the same angles into the corners, just to give it as a true reflection. I need another 8/10 off this to give me a comparison. Track limits that, unfortunately. I did go that last corner pretty quick, but you can see I'm half a second up, so I'm getting there. I'll do another couple of laps like I did in the Audi, and then I'll pick another poison. Basic setup on this doesn't move in as well as the Audi does. You can see it's all over the place. So this is, so although this car might have been improved on all tracks, I think it's got other problems that your setup will need to fix. So it probably needs a bit more steering in to get it into the corners, because the Audi's default appears a bit more turnier than this. Although I did say earlier on it felt alright, but I think it's on a corner by corner basis, and obviously the tilt of the track will have an impact on that as well. And you can see the gear change is different, so I'm going to have to use first into that gear now, into that corner. See if I can do another good lap after this to see how far I can get to the 102.038. Just seems to suffer pickup, the Aston. Doesn't seem to put the power down as smooth and as quick as the Audi did. The one that used to put the power down great was the BM, so that will be interesting. I might actually have a setup for the BM as well. That's quick through there this time, but still. Doesn't want to go in the corners. I feel I'm fighting with this more than the Audi to get it to go round and rotate into the corners. Still 3/10 up. I'm getting another 2/10 coming out of here. You got the 2/10 up. Good acceleration now. 4/10 off the other car. Again, setup could be key. Round, power down early without spinning out, quite key in there. So I'm 2/10 off the Audi now. Just kept within track limits there. First gears give me another 0.2. It's going to be slightly it's close. I think this is slightly quicker. Yeah, a 1/10. So I think the Aston needs more work on it, but comparison to comparison, the Aston come out quicker there, and hopefully you can see I was trying to do the same sort of laps. Oh, is anybody in the chat? No one's chatting. I just want to make sure everything's watchable, visible. What I'll do now is I'll pick a car I don't normally race, and it can bite apparently, so I'm going to go to the Porsche. No, not the Porsche Cup. GT3 GTR. Right. I don't have any skins for this one, because I don't even think I've raced it before. So this could be a complete and utter disaster. We shall see. I could be offing it in the wall and everything here. So yeah, laugh all you want. I have no issue. But because I'm using everything the same and I'm pushing the same, if it's 1/10 in it, it's not. It's basically they're even. I would have half expected the Audi to actually destroy the Aston Martin there. It may have done before the update today. So I'll tell you what, I'm bloody boiling as well. I want to put my fan on, but it might interfere with the sound, the microphone. Right. Now it looks like I've got away with that, so I've got a fan on me now. Right, here we go. Yeah, the difference, the balance on the Porsche, completely different compared to the two cars I've just driven. Feels like it wants to take you off track quicker than the other two, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Just get the tyres warmed up. One thing that is good now is the safe setup appears to give you a baseline on the tyres. So anybody who wants to race and get your tyres set, use the safe setup and take the PSIs, because they seem to now work much better than they used to in previous versions. So they've obviously worked on the setups a bit more. Again, this is the base safe setup, so I've not tweaked, I've not played with it. I reckon if I started playing with it, took some fuel out, I'd be looking probably a good couple of seconds. It feels alright actually. I know they can bite you, but it doesn't feel too bad. This will be first time in the Porsche on this track. In fact, it could be the first time in the Porsche in general. Definitely not as quick through there. It helps because of the safe setup. It's given me maximum grip. You can see the TC levels are set to 5 here. But again, it's the same amount of fuel. Its turning's much better as well, much more agile. So it's it feels much quicker through this section. That doesn't mean it is. It feels it. It's gripping that corner much better. Deep into there, but yeah, still made it. Much quicker coming out. They've altered the speed of the Porsche top end, but it's had some drag changes made to it, which I should imagine impacts it on every track quite significantly. grips much better than the Aston does in the base setup. Feels quite a nice car actually. Again, not as quick through there, but practice makes perfect and all that. Yeah. Back end's twitchier. Not bad for a starting lap really. 2:05, which was consistent with the others. You can fling this thing around, crikey Charlie. Much more flingable. Just a bit down now on time. The right rear really needs a bit more pressure on it. All the others seem to be within what I'd say is acceptable limits. Slow coming out of there. Quicker through there that time. Got that exit wrong, but still up. I need to gain over a second now. I need to get used to the gearing of the Porsche as well. Its gears seem a little bit different. Power down. Although I said you can fling it round the corners, it doesn't seem to want to do it fast. Looking at the times. Doesn't the fact that I can't really hear much of the game, so I know I'm over revving this at some point, and I can't help that. If I put the sound up, you'll be able to hear that through the headphones, and it gets ugly to listen to. Those guys who race the Porsche, good on you guys, because I ain't getting the same out of the Porsche that I just did in the Aston and the Audi. Not getting it at all. I'm really struggling with the Porsche. Break the 204s. Well, that won't help. Hit the grass on the way in. Let's have another one more. I'm really struggling with this compared to the others. It feels nice. It just doesn't feel I can push it into the corners. It feels like I can get in the corners, but it's obviously not going in as quick. I know the weight distribution is completely different on the Porsche. I'm up again, but not in the same degree as I was before.
Quicker coming out of there, but still not. Still going to be a second behind. Goes to show I can't drive a Porsche. Much twitchier. Yeah, 2046. I ain't going faster with that. That's pushing it. Bit of setup, might get a bit further down, but I'm way off the pace there compared to the two 8/10. So in the right hands, I'm sure it's quick. In my hands, it's not. So next one that's supposed to have gains is the Lambo. So let's pick the Lamborghini. If I can find it. Okay, and let's see what this one does. It's not making it any easier for myself because the Audi and the obviously the Aston very, very fairly matched. The Aston felt easier but felt sluggish. Anyway, let's see what the noisy Lambo can do for us. The Lambo's supposed to be quite twitchy at the back, and it also doesn't have the benefit of TC2. Front feels very pointy. Doesn't mean it's going to go in the corners, but it does feel very, very pointy, more so than I felt the Aston. But it feels like the back is struggling for grip even straight away here. Turn as well as the Porsche and the Aston. That seems a bit more definitely go through there quicker than the Porsche. Once the tyres warm up, it feels alright this actually. No idea where it's going to sit though. Seem to go around the corners okay though. That one always catches you out a little bit there, but ever so slightly early there just to get the car to turn in for that corner. I don't know if it worked or not. Not a bad lap, but I don't think it's a groundbreaker. But again, Lambo feels alright. Definitely quicker through there, definitely quicker. Got a nice gear ratio, the Lambo, actually. Interesting. Very interesting. First lap out the box. Beat all the times. I would never have expected that. Don't ask me for a conclusion. We don't have very many Lambo drivers, that's for certain. Oh, I've gone wide. I'll go round again, get the tyres cooled down. To be fair, try and go a little bit quicker. Yeah, 2035 is the fastest I've done. And the Lambo's not a car. I've done the ST, but it's not one. I think I've driven this even less, actually. I'd be surprised if I've got any lap times on any times table for this one. Like the Porsche. It seems to get the power down much better than the other two. I will do the BMW in a minute as well, because that's supposed to have been nerfed massively. And that's one car I have driven around here. Try and not go off this lap. Bearing in mind these are all full tanks of fuel as well. And obviously some of you will be thinking that I'm doing unfair laps. I'm trying to be as honest and as genuine as possible with every lap I've done here. Let's try try and make it as equally as comparative as I can. Looks like this is going to be 6/10 quicker than the fastest I've done. Now that surprised me. That's really surprised me, that one. We're down to the 203.2 in the Lambo. Let's look at the BMW. Doing some cracking testing for later. Right, let's go to the M4. Yeah, I've got one of these somewhere. Doesn't really matter what I set up, but that'll do. My usual good red liveried one. If anybody wants me to try a specific car, give us a shout out, and because I have got the chat in front of me. Oh, I'm not seeing very much coming up, so I presume it's working. And what I'll do is I'll pick that car and give it a run round. No, not the Porsche Cup, because that's not been nerfed or buffed, and that would be a giggle. Right, so BMW is supposed to have been affected, and people are saying it's significantly slower on some of the faster tracks, down to 7/10. 7/10 might not sound a lot, or I was saying to Discord before, that 7/10 to the to an alien probably equates to about 1.5 seconds to a non-alien, so that's significant. It feels so clumsy after that Lambo. Oh, the back's very light. You can see the back's trying to move already under acceleration coming out the corner. It really feels like a boat. Oh yeah, it's safe setup's crap. Struggling to turn in, and a bit of a oversteer there. Ooh, this feels woeful. Bearing in mind I spent a season racing this car, you think I know how to drive it. I feel like it's a completely different car, if I'm being honest. Acceleration's poor. It's turning well there, but yeah, the acceleration feels poor. Again, so many times you see someone doing a time, you think it's crap, the lap's really slow, and the next minute they're going, the acceleration, come on, move, dearie me. Just doesn't feel like it wants to in fifth move anymore. I know they've amalgamated the gears, they said, but I don't know what they've amalgamated them into. Feels like many are chosen, only few deliver. Because it really feels like they've changed the legs of the gears. It just feels genuinely much more sluggish. And I say you can't put the power down the same anymore. Fifth, you feel it. These gears don't feel too bad, but it's fifth gear. It just seems to want to really labour. I'm probably wrong. trying to be as far as I can with all the laps I'm doing. But the best lap I'm doing is a third attempt. I'm not even having to dab the brakes there. I'm just not getting to top speed. Anyone in the BMW later is going to get mullered at the end of that straight. I'll tell you that now. You'll get absolutely mullered because the other cars keep accelerating, and I think it's this is at the top end of its revs nerfed. That was so obvious through there then. Yeah, not a bad lap to be fair. I'm gonna look stupid now, aren't I? Because it's gonna obliterate all the other cars. I'm sure there'll be plenty of eSeniors thinking, "Oh, thank God for that." And I know there's drivers amongst us who are better drivers than me, so you know they'll be able to do a much more. Oh, it's just not going to go around that corner there then. A much quicker lap than me. But as I said, I wanted to do this all consistent. It's a lot looser, the BM in safe setup than the others. I'll tell you that now. I'm fighting with the car a lot more. Again, broke early there to try and get it to the apex. But I'm losing on that power out. Losing all the power all the time coming out the corner. Just doesn't want to move. Your gear selection is going to be so important in this. Yeah, spoilt lap. Well, am I going to get into the 203s in this? I think the end of that straight. It was very late in there, just didn't want to stop. It was a spoilt lap anyway, so it didn't really matter. Give yourself a good run up for the next lap. Whew, it's warm. The tyre aren't as optimal as the other cars as well, I've noticed on this. Be a grid later full of Lamborghinis. I'm half a second up now, so I'm starting to compete with the Lambo. I'm now starting to coming out of there. Then I got the braking point wrong, but still wanted to go. Well, that mistake was on me. I was 8/10 up. Look how quick it drops off though. I bet you can go around there nearly flat out. I reckon this is still not hindered as much, to be honest, the BM. One more lap, because I was very well up early on into the lap. Still struggling putting the power down. The back end just wants to slide. More in line with the Lambo this now. Well, the Audi without setup is not going to stand a chance on here. It's so slow this, the acceleration here. Convinced about the BMW. It still feels relatively quick to me. The handling feels different, so I don't know what they've done, but they've definitely changed something. Oof. Anybody got any suggestions? Anybody left watching? Yeah, as I said, the chat seems to be rather quiet. I'm not getting much feedback from anybody, so I'm just in the I know I was late starting. Apologise for that. Yep. Okay. Right. Let's. I'm trying to think what else was changed actually. Have a look. Quick look on my phone to see what else was bopped, and then I'll go and have a. I'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at okay, car changes. Right, Porsche. I've already done the Porsche. Right, the AMGs appears to have been completely obliterated. I might give that a run actually, and the Honda seems to be okay. I'll take the AMG out. Again, not a car I've raced. So, let's see how it goes. Basic setup again. So again, I'm trying to keep it as consistent as I can, so this should be stable. Whether I can go around the corners or not. Because it's got a huge bonnet on it. Huge bonnet. There we go. Got a nice noise to it, the Mercedes, though. That's one thing is going for it. Whoa! That back end. The steering feels really loose. It's weird racing the cars like this one after the other because you feel the differences between them, and it's some of them are quite stark. The front looks like it needs someone sat on the bonnet. And I'm on the bonnet cam, ha ha ha, but you know, it feels like it needs someone to press the front down. We'll say it handled that curve beautifully compared to the BMW where it seemed to throw it around. Brakes feel good. That's good on it. Power down. Seems to come out of that corner well. Force feedback is very poor on this. I think I'd have to tweak the force feedback for this car. It just doesn't feel like it wants to turn. Massive understeer. Tyres are still cold, I suppose. Let's see how it feels. Right. That I believe is much quicker than the BMW. I think the BMW is going to get absolutely mullered at the end of the straight. I think the BMW was getting to 150 in this. It was well into the 150s. But the BMW seemed to be quick in the corners, so it's horses for courses, I suppose. It doesn't even feel that curb. Feels a bit more stable now the tyres have warmed up than the BM. Surprisingly, this is the biggest number of laps I've done in Suzuka without actually going off. Because I always go off in Suzuka. I know they're different cars, but you'd have expected me to go off more than I have, to be honest. I know I'm safe set up, so that really helps. Yeah. Look at the speed difference. Put that a bit much, but you still see the speed difference there. Let's get a time on the board. And unless someone comes up in the chat and says, give me another car, I'll call it a day. Feels very light. Best I'm going to get out of this. 204. I know this is just one track, and there'll be cars that benefit that track more so than you know, one car versus the other. But I think that's, unless anybody's putting a request in for another car, which I am quite happy to do, I'm going to call that a day. Anybody? You've all been very, very quiet. I've not seen any chat coming up at all. So either the chat has been coming up and I've not seen it, or nobody's chatting because no one's acknowledged they're there. Can you hear me? Can you see me? So I suppose I can have a quick look on my phone just to see in case I've got a problem on my tablet. So I'll just have a check in case I've missed something. Because I'd hate to go. I know this isn't really entertaining. It's a bit of light time reading, I should imagine, for some of you. That's come up. Oh, guys, there's the chat. No. There's no chat. Nothing in the chat, so... Stay on my phone. Oh, sorry, there is chat there. I'm not seeing that. Right, thank you guys. I'll go back to the chat. Right, why can't I see that? Quality's poor as well. Try Audi. McLaren wasn't part of the update now. Right, so I was trying them. Right, I can see the chat now, guys. So thanks for this. Hands off my Aston. I was playing about on internal satisfaction quicker than my previous best. Has update been released then? McLaren. The same in the Lambo. Like how... Jeez, Derek. Do we not all do that lead into corners? Fine, I did the same in the Lambo. So maybe does have stopped driving Cunos now, then Lambo paying more. So they've been released. Yes, it has. Bentley. I could try the Bentley. There's been 1 or 2 changes to that. That's off my Aston. Andreas, what's the ratio? So just to clarify, guys, for those who've missed it, I'm not actually putting anything in the settings for the cars. I'm using default. So what I'll do is I'll give the Bloatley a run. I don't race the Bentley, but I'll give it a go anyway as a comparison. And because I'm driving the laps the same, sorry guys, just got an itchy back. I'm trying to make it as convenient as possible to comparable as possible. Sorry for the lap times. So let's again set up. They've set up. I always lead into the corners because I want the car to move. I'll tell you what though, if you guys who race and have got a cockpit, I bet you all do the same. You'll deny it, but you'll all do the same. Right, here we go. So I know I think Craig drives the Bentley. Neil has driven the Bentley before today. I'm not a big Bentley. I tried the Bentley once before, I think, very early on, and I just couldn't gel with it. Back end there wants to come round. I'm going to be knackered for the race later. I'm going to know the track well, though. But it's wide. I feel like a tractor. I'm going off track. The brakes feel better on the Bentley. That's the first thing I'll observe. The TC really kicks in coming out. See how quick the Bentley is on the straight compared to the BMW. I mean, I might take the BMW back out again just for that straight to measure the speed because it felt so down on. Whoa, that was nearly my first off there then. Proper off, nearly spun it. I'm not spun it yet. All these different cars, I'm bound to make a mistake. Jumping in one car to the other, not playing with the setup and just trying to drive it. Interesting. I think the Merc's quickest on the straight, but it just can't get round the corners. Now my tyres are warming up. Still not there. Now my tyres are warming up. I should start to be able to get a bit more consistency in my lap times with the Bentley. Nice sound out of that Bentley. Oh, it's very nose, very pointy. Put the brakes on it, pulled me into the corner. Yeah, it wants to carry on riding with the base setup. It wants to carry on riding, even though it's a safe setup. It wants to carry on going out the corners. Whoa, massive oversteer there with the power. Definitely got power. That's the first car I think I've gone up there and the back end's wanting to come out. So that'll have lost me a couple of hundredths, I reckon. TC doesn't want to kick, it just doesn't want to let the wheels go. I feel it, bum, 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 bum. I'm not changing anything because I didn't change anything on any of the cars. Yeah, it wanted to come round again then. I'll tell you what, this feels, out of them all to drive so far, this one feels that you've got to work hard. Whoa! Back end. That's where the tyres still aren't getting there though. So a second, nearly 2 seconds off what I was achieving. The pointing on that as I broke into the corner. Yeah, it's pulling me into the corners. I'm not liking this Bentley at all. Oh dear. If you're new to ACC, don't pick the bloody Bentley and use safe setup. It's a nightmare. Again there, just wants to spin you about. I'm really not liking the Bentley, sorry to say, guys. Oh, like it's hiccuping when I get it going. The others seem to put the traction control down much smoother than the Bentley. Goes again, back end. Oh, a nightmare. I'll do one more lap because this is killing me. I'll go back to the chat after the next lap. Seem to have to put the power down and steer it more in the corners. I mean, this corner at the bottom, it absolutely wipes you to the right hand side. As soon as I'm hitting the brakes, it's pulling me over. Okay, granted I got a lot of speed out of it that time, but the back end still wants to come round. Struggling under grip, and this is the corner that wants to spit you out. goes again. Ooh. I'm not liking the Bentley. Mr. Tennant, total respect for you, mate. Come on, power down. Deary me. It feels the worst for getting the power down this. With the traction control kicking in. It's proper disconnected. Again, oversteer. Yeah. Not fun. Not happy with this one at all. Still not binned it. But I wasn't far off. Yeah, quite consistent there. 1/100th off my last lap time, my best lap time. Not happy with that Bentley. No, you can keep that one. What else have you said? Let's see. McLaren, but it wasn't part of them. Yeah, it's not been bopped. Andreas 2046. I've tried the Aston. Yeah, the Aston started off quite quick, but the pick of the bunch at the moment, Nikos, is the Lambo. The Lambo killed everything, mate. 14 ratio. Well, it's my world. Hey guys, hope I haven't tested the Aston at all. Yeah, the Aston it appears to be keeping up with the Audi. It was actually quicker than the Audi. So, anybody else anything before I go? I'm quite happy to jump in. Do you want me to go back in to the Audi? Now I've had a bit of an eye in. I'll go back in the Audi. Now I've had a bit of an eye in. Or, I don't think I'm going to get much more out of it. Yeah, I've done well on the track, but That's up. I'm in Valentino Rossi's car. Hey. Three, let's go. I'll go and obliterate everything now in this time, won't I? You can just see it. So, straight out the box, feeling this compared to the Bentley, it just feels much more planted, the safe setup, than the Bentley. Wait for the tyres to come good. The other thing with the Bentley as well, its tyres on base setup don't appear to get to optimum on this track, whereas all the other cars have done. So that's got to be a consideration, really. The fact that, you know, the base setup on the Bentley just isn't working for the tyres. So if all things were equal and it did the tyre pressures, I'd probably be a less slippier. Track there. this is an outer lap, so at the moment this lap doesn't really matter. I'm just getting me tyres ready, but you can see there's no oversteer at all. The BMW was giving me a slight bit. The Bentley wanted to kill me. The Porsche was fine. So far, my car of not choice is the Bentley. It's much quicker down here the straight as well. Round there, nice. You know, back end swinging out on this. It's just gripping and power down. Wrong gear. Oops. Don't think it upset me too much there, actually. I know there's a bit of traction control kicking in there, but it wasn't half as bad as the Bentley. How this is going to compare, but it feels like a good lap, this one, to be honest. Yeah, 2037. That was before. I think I did a 2038, so that was comparable to that. So iron or not, I still think it's a comparable time. Let's have a look. Hey guys, hope all right. That's Carl Smith. Wonder if we can do donuts. I like the Lambo, but it's ugly. See you later on track. Seems like the default ratio fits better, Andreas. Okay. Right guys, anybody got anything else before I disappear? We'll get on track and practice with you guys. Right. Well, if you're already on track, I'll see you on track in a minute. And take care, guys. Alright, I'll end the stream there. Thanks for watching.